Hello students, let us continue exercise 2.2 question number 2. Find a quadratic polynomial each with the given numbers as the sum and products of its zeros respectively. In this question we have to find a quadratic polynomial given the sum and product of its zeros. So the first number will be the sum of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial and the second number will be the product of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial. First, 1 by 4 comma minus 1. For solving these type of questions we have two methods. Let us discuss the first method. So here we are given that sum of zeros is equal to 1 by 4 and product of zeros is minus 1. We know that sum of zeros, that means alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and product of zeros alpha beta is equal to c by a. We have discussed this in the previous class. So now we have sum of zeros is equal to 1 by 4 and sum of zeros is equal to minus b by a. So we can equate these two. Similarly, we can equate minus 1 with c by a. Then we can find the values of a, b and c. So here we have minus 1 by 4 is equal to minus b by a. So from here we can say that minus b is equal to 1 and a is equal to 4. We got the value of a and we got the value of minus b, but we want the value of b. So from here we can say that b is equal to minus 1. Next we are going to equate minus 1 with c by a. So c by a is equal to minus 1. And since we can write this as 1 in the denominator, since there is nothing in the denominator, so we can write 1 in the denominator. So this gives that a is equal to 1, but we have already found the value of a, which is equal to 4. So we will multiply 1 by 4. Now we have a is equal to 4. But since we have multiplied 4 in the numerator, we have to multiply 4 in the numerator as well, or else the value of the fraction will change. Since we have multiplied 4 in the denominator, we have to multiply 4 in the numerator as well. So now we have minus 4 by 4, which is again equal to minus 1. So now the value of a is equal to 4 and value of c becomes minus 4. So here we have the value of a, b and c. So let us now find the quadratic polynomial. So the standard form of the quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. We will substitute the values of a, b and c in this standard equation or standard form. Then we have 4x square. 4 is the value of a and minus 1 is the value of b. So minus 1 into x minus 4. Minus 1 into x is equal to minus x. So 4x square minus x minus 4. This is the required quadratic polynomial. Now this was the first method. Let us now discuss the second method. For solving the question by the second method, we have this formula: px is equal to x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. So px is a polynomial in variable x and this is the formula. We will be multiplying alpha plus beta with x. That means we have sum of the roots is equal to 1 by 4. So we will be multiplying x with 1 by 4 and in place of alpha beta we will be substituting minus 1, because that is product of the zeros, and product of the zeros is equal to alpha into beta. So here we have x square minus 1 by 4 x minus 1. We have simply substituted the values given. In method 2 also you need to write these statements and then solve using this formula. So here we have 4 in the denominator and over here we have 1 in the denominator. So we will be taking the LCM. So here we have 4x square minus 1x minus 4 divided by 4. So to eliminate this 4, we will take this equal to 0. So we have 4x square minus 1 into x is x minus 4 is equal to 0. That means the required quadratic polynomial is 4x square minus x minus 4. To eliminate 4, we took this equal to 0. Since in the left hand side we are dividing by 4, when we take it to the right hand side we will be multiplying this by 4. So 0 multiplied by 4 is again equal to 0. So this is the required quadratic polynomial. And in both the cases, in both the methods, we have the same answer. Here also we got 4x square minus 4x minus 4, and in using the first method as well, we got the same quadratic polynomial. You can solve these questions using any one of these methods. Let us proceed with the second question. Root 2 comma 1 by 3. From here on, I will be using the second method. So here we have sum of zeros is equal to root 2 and product of zeros is equal to 1 by 3. That is, we have alpha plus beta is equal to root 2 and alpha beta is equal to 1 by 3. Then the required quadratic polynomial is, this is the formula, that is, this is equal to px. So in the place of alpha plus beta, we will substitute root 2. So x square minus root 2x plus alpha beta is equal to 1 by 3. So we will substitute the value of alpha beta. Again, we will take the LCM since the denominator is 1 and over here we have denominator 3. So we can write x square into 3, that is 3x square minus 3 root 2x plus 1 divided by 3. Now for eliminating 3, we will be taking this equal to 0. Then 3 will be multiplied with 0 and we will have the required quadratic polynomial 3x square minus 3 root 2x plus 1. This is the required polynomial. Next, let us try question number 5. Minus 1 by 4 comma 1 by 4. Again, here the sum of zeros, that is alpha plus beta is equal to minus 1 by 4 and product of zeros, that is alpha beta is equal to 1 by 4. So the required quadratic polynomial is x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. The same procedure. Again, we will take the LCM for equalizing the denominators. So we have 4x square, and since this is minus into minus, we get plus 1x, which is equal to x plus 1 and whole divided by 4. Now again, for eliminating 4, we will take this equation is equal to 0, or else you can write, since the zeros of 4x square plus x plus 1 and 4x square plus x plus 1 divided by 4 are same. So the required quadratic polynomial is 4x square plus x plus 1. This is how you should write the statement. 4x square plus x plus 1 is the required quadratic polynomial, since this and 4x square plus x plus 1 divided by 4 have the same zeros. Because for finding the zeros, we will have to take both these equal to 0. Then we can eliminate 4 and we will have 4x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. Hence, this is the required quadratic polynomial. We can solve question number 3, 4 and 6 in the same way we solved first, second and fifth. So try these questions on your own. The next topic we are going to discuss is division algorithm for polynomials. But before that, let us see how we can divide two polynomials. So let us discuss the method of dividing one polynomial by another in detail. Let us solve an example. Divide 2x square plus 3x plus 1 by x plus 2. Always remember the divisor should have a degree less than the dividend. So for finding the first term of the quotient, we will be dividing the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor. That is, for the first term of the quotient, we will divide 2x square by x. Then we will have 2x as the first term of the quotient. Then we will multiply x with 2x, which gives 2x square, and 2 with 2x, which gives plus 4x. Since we are subtracting, the sign will change. So we have minus x and plus 1. So now for finding the second term of the quotient, we will divide minus x by x. So we have minus 1. Minus x divided by x gives minus 1. So again, multiplying by x, we have minus 1, and multiplying by plus 2, we have minus 2. Subtracting, the sign changes. We have plus 3. Now this is the remainder, and here the remainder should either become 0, but in this case the remainder is not 0. Then we can see that the remainder has a degree less than the divisor. So the division stops when the remainder has a degree less than the divisor, or when the remainder is 0. In both the cases, the division stops. Since the remainder has a degree less than the degree of divisor, the division stops over here. We know that we have division algorithm for positive integers. In the same way, we have division algorithm for polynomials. That means here dividend, that is 2x square plus 3x plus 1 is equal to x plus 2 into 2x minus 1 plus 3. You can solve this to verify that the division algorithm is true for polynomials as well. So consider this as px. This is any polynomial px and this is the polynomial gx. These are just used for representing px and gx. This can be called qx because this is a quotient and this is rx in terms of polynomial. Then we have the division algorithm of polynomials, which is as follows. If px and gx are any two polynomials with gx not equal to 0, then we can find polynomials qx and rx such that px is equal to gx into qx plus rx, where rx is equal to 0 or degree of rx is less than degree of gx. This result is known as the division algorithm for polynomials. It is just similar to the Euclid's division algorithm that you studied in chapter 1. So we have two polynomials like the polynomials we considered in the example earlier, px and gx, where gx is not equal to 0. Then we can find qx, which will be the quotient, and rx, which is the remainder, such that px, that means dividend, will be equal to gx, which is the divisor, into qx, which is the quotient, plus remainder. We had a condition for r in Euclid's division algorithm. In the same way, we have a condition for rx, that is rx is equal to 0. That means either remainder is equal to 0 or degree of rx is less than degree of gx. In this way, we won't be able to divide rx further with gx. So we have condition for rx. Again, rx is either 0, that means the remainder either becomes 0, or the degree of the remainder will be less than the degree of the divisor. And this result is known as division algorithm for polynomials. Let us now proceed with exercise 2.3. Question number 1. Divide the polynomial px by the polynomial gx and find the quotient and remainder in each of the following. In this question, we are given two polynomials px and gx. So we have to divide the polynomial px by the polynomial gx. That means the polynomial with smaller degree, and then we have to find the quotient and remainder in each of the following cases. First, px is equal to x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 3. Gx is equal to x square minus 2. So here the dividend is the polynomial having the greater degree, which is x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 3, and divisor is gx, which is x square minus 2. So finding the first term of the quotient, we will be dividing first term of the dividend with the first term of the divisor. Then x cube divided by x square, we have x. So multiplying x square with x, we have x cube, and minus 2 with x, we have minus 2x. We are writing terms below their like terms. So subtracting the sign changes, we have get cancelled, and this is 7x minus 3. The second terms comes down as it is. So we have minus 3x square plus 7x minus 3. Again, for the second term of the quotient, we will be dividing minus 3x square by x square, which gives minus 3. So minus 3x square after multiplying x square with minus 3, and after multiplying minus 2 with minus 3, we get plus 6. So on subtracting, the sign changes. This becomes plus and this becomes minus. So minus 3x plus 3x gets cancelled out. 7x, and this becomes minus 9. So over here, the degree of the remainder, that is rx, is less than degree of gx, that is the divisor. Then we can say that the division stops over here and we have our quotient and remainder. Thus, the quotient is x minus 3 and remainder is 7x minus 9. In question number 2, we have px is equal to x raised to 4 minus 3x square plus 4x plus 5. Here you can see that the term with x cube is missing. That means we can say that the coefficient of that term is 0. And 0 into anything is 0. So if we add and subtract 0 to any number, we will get 0. Same is the case for polynomials. Now we want all the terms in decreasing order of exponent of variable x. That means the power should be in decreasing order. In gx we have x square plus 1 minus x. So we will rearrange it in proper order. First will be the term with the greater power, that is x square, then minus x, then plus 1. So after rearranging, we will divide px with gx. So for finding the first term of quotient, we have to divide first term of dividend by the first term of divisor. So we have x square. So multiplying x square by x square, we get x to the power 4. Multiplying minus x with x square, we have minus x cube. So now you know why we have added this 0x cube to the dividend, because it makes the division easy. And plus 1 into x square, we get plus x square. Now we are subtracting, that means the signs will be changed. This will get cancelled. This will become plus. This will become minus. So x raised to 4 minus x raised to 4 is 0. Here it is plus and this becomes minus. So over here we have x cube minus x square and the remaining terms as it is. Minus 4x square. Minus 3x square minus x square, we have minus 4x square plus 4x plus 5. Next, for the second term of the quotient, we have to divide x cube by x square. So we have plus x. So multiplying x square by x, we have x cube. This will be minus x square plus x. Again we are subtracting, the sign will change. This gets cancelled. Here we have minus 4x square plus x square. So this is minus 3x square and this will be plus 3x plus 5. For the third term, we will divide minus 3x square by x square, which gives minus 3. So minus 3x square minus x into minus 3, we have plus 3x, and plus 1 into minus 3, we have minus 3. So again we are subtracting, the signs will change. Here we have 3x minus 3x, this also gets cancelled, and 5 plus 3, which gives 8. Degree of Rx is less than the degree of Gx. So here the division stops. In the last statement you have to write, therefore the quotient is x square plus x minus 3 and remainder is 8. In question number 3, we have px is equal to x raised to 4 minus 5x plus 6. Again, the terms like x cube and x square are missing. That means their coefficients are 0. Then we can write px is equal to x raised to 4 plus 0 into x cube plus 0 into x square minus 5x plus 6. This will be the new dividend. As I told you before, this is just to make the division process simple. And over here we have 2 minus x square. Now we won't be adding any terms to this, but we will just rearrange this. This becomes minus x square plus 2. We are just arranging gx in the descending order of the power of the variable. That means first we have x square and then we have x to the power 0, and x to the power 0 is equal to 1. Question number 3 is the same as question number 2 and question number 1. You have to solve it by the same long division method and write the quotient and remainder. So try this on your own.